Yes, Zaga. Yaga, you know the vibes you rocking out with yours truly. Showtime Sizzle. I am the sauce, man. Top of the morning. It is Friday. Um, you see what my topic is. I want to get to it, right? But listen, before I get to it, let me admire my work. I know you guys are gonna get tired of hearing that, but let's throw this up there. Classic frame from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Um, so yesterday was a big day in boxing as far as and oh man, I completely forgot. Let me say Sebastian Fundora is fighting also on Saturday at the hole. I think that's what they call it. The spot. Man, excuse me. The spot in California, where a lot of stuff jumps off at, the digital, I think it's called that. I can't think of the name right now. But he's also fighting too. It was just that the coverage, um, all the coverage that I'm seeing is pretty much from the YouTubers, it's pretty much the top rank fight. They did do the Tank Davis media day yesterday as well. But what I want to speak about is something that has been being rumored around on the YTC and many other places in regards to Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford, June 17th. So yesterday, and I don't want to get this channel's name wrong. Let me give them their flowers because they did excellent work. Yes, they did. I want to give them their flowers. Um, Fino boxing. They was on the front lines, right? They was on the front lines. Fino boxing out there in California. I believe they are a Latino-based media company, and they did actual media work. I know a lot of channels and others are speculating off of Spectrum. They're speculating off of Twitter, but he actually got a player in front of him that is basically dealing with this situation, and he put the sauce on him. Asked the right questions, got effective. Notice the word that I use: effective answers. Yes. So I'm gonna play a little bit of his audio. Um, you're gonna hear from the horse's mouth. The fight is not done. Uh, it's and I think he's hearing what the people are saying because he references the fact that he knows that people might want to book hotels and things of that nature. But the fight is not done, man. So if your favorite channel is pushing that narrative that it's a done deal June 17th, it's not done. And this is from the horse's mouth. Let's get to it. At Amica, we provide. Let's get to a top of the morning. This is the Source Experience. You are rocking out with your truly, the Zaga Yaga. This was Fino boxing. Things are moving. Let's get to it. Getting Crawford Spence, fan fighters don't want to get too excited, but just, can we get an announcer directly from the force, obviously from the directly from the source? What can you give the fight fans as far as an update? Look, I'm going to be conservative because we've been on the cusp before. We've been right on the doorstep, and it didn't quite work out. All right, let's stop it right there. We're gonna just see we're going with a whole nother angle. He was asked about Spence Crawford. He said, "We have been on the cusp before." Shout out to all the channels that are reporting that. Doing their due diligence, real media work. It's not a done deal. I know you guys are hoping and wishing You heard what the man just said. That's why I stopped, and I'm going to continue to keep formulating the sauce like this, man. You know, you guys need this because there's too many of y'all. I don't know why you don't hear. You don't hear. You know, this is Steven Espinosa, the man that is putting the fight together. He stated we have been here before and it fell apart. So it's not a done deal. June 17th is not the confirmed date. But let's move on. You're rocking out your truly Showtime Sizzle. I am the source. Shadows.
On the doorstep, and it didn't quite work out. So, I don't want to say, hey, look, we're almost done. We're getting closer. There's still some obstacles, a handful, but we're making progress.
Stop it again. There's still some obstacles. So why are channels reporting that it is a done deal? It's a done deal from my understanding. And like I said, my understanding being a salute to my team, a Team Tucker official boxing member. It's a done deal when contracts are signed. Um, if you notice, last week we was in Tulsa, Oklahoma. If you rock with me on my IG page, I really gave you, man, so much behind the sauce scene. Um, from the athletic commission to, your pay stubs and all that. I gave that a lot of that to y'all last week. If you paid attention, from the still frames to little clips, I gave you, like seeing a doctor and you know filling out your W-2s and all that, because that's what fighters do. They are independent contractors. You gotta do certain things, man. So back to this big fight. He said there are still things that need to be hashed out. So why are channels reporting that it is a done deal? In order for it to be a done deal, you have to have a date. And he's gonna get to that. Let me let him talk. I'm just breaking it down, because this isn't my video, but I like to stop it to just point out certain things to the deaf, dumb, and blind.
We're making progress, and there are ongoing discussions every day. So, things are moving. Which I think is the most positive thing. I mean, that's not what people want to hear. But I also don't want to, say to people, hey, count on it and start booking your flights. We were almost at that point last fall, and it fell apart.
Man, stop it again. You are cooking this morning, Shalom. Yes, that is my real name, Shalom. You are cooking. Did you hear what he just said? Please stop the false narratives, guys. He doesn't want the fans, the public, to start booking because they don't even know the date yet. They don't know the date yet. And that is one of the most positive things that Steven said for a consumer. I guess he's hearing the smaller channels that are speaking about this, that they want time to be ahead so they can plan ahead for the trip if they do plan on covering this event. But you heard it right there from the horse's mouth that it's not concrete yet. There are ongoing positive discussions. So, people, I know everybody wants to be an insider. I know everybody wants to break the news. They want to be first. No, let the finalization, completion come first. Well, let's move on to more.
At that point last fall, and it fell apart. So I don't want to, promise anything I can't deliver. So, having said that, I am very optimistic. There are active discussions going on. I'm not sure where the June 17th date comes from, to be honest.
Man, stop it once again. Did you hear what he said? That is the man that is going to get the fight done. He says he does not know where the June 17th date is coming from. Man, when y'all play this back, soak this in, soak that in, man. Because that is the date that I don't know how many channels are running with. If this is the man that is trying to put the fight together and he's telling us, That date is not confirmed, but man, if you thumbnail that right now, that is all over the YTC. But let's move on. You're rocking out with your truly Showtime Sizzle. I am the source. Shy News. This is the Source Experience. Early morning source.
It's kind of close. Yeah, and it's a little bit of a cart before the horse in that you don't want to set a date before your deal is done because what if it takes a couple weeks longer than you thought? Then you
Stop it. Damn, didn't the source just tell you that? But hey, what do I know? Hey, what do I know? Man, didn't I just tell you that, man? How can you put a date out there when the contracts and certain things are still being ironed out? Oh man, do I know something or don't I know something? Hey, what do I know? Shout out to Mr. Espinoza for just clarifying that. How can you have a date for a fight when the deal, yes, once again, the deal is not done. Hopefully, you are catching the source. This is for educational purposes only, especially for the ones that are enlightened, awoken, that is going to come and listen to a actual, actual breakdown, not I'm not going off of Twitter and tweets and this and that. Yesterday, I broke down the interviews conducted by YSM and Fight Hype to another handler in this situation, Brian McIntyre, aka Bomac, who is somewhat of a manager to Terrence, advisor, manager, or whatever you want to call. So I broke down his dialect in regards to this fight. And now I'm breaking down another player that is involved with this fight. But let's move on. You're rocking on your truly show. Top Sizzle. I am the source.
then what if it takes a couple weeks longer than you thought? Then you sort of got to pull it back. So the date is something that you sort of wait until you're really literally ready to sign and then figure it out. So I'm not saying you couldn't.
Stop it again. Man, did you hear what he said? See, I like doing my videos like this. This is the new format. When I do tend to really want to dissect and give y'all the source, take y'all to school. The date. Did you hear what he said? The date is pretty much done when you know everything is a go. Everything is a go. So everything isn't a go. Contrary to what your favorite YouTube channels are reporting, and to throw a little, sauce on it. Most of these guys that are reporting on it aren't even going to go to the fight. It is what it is. A lot of them might even steal the fight. It is what it is. So I feel the need to just come on here and just, try to enlighten y'all on certain languages and certain things. You're listening to Mr. Espinosa right now on the brother Fino boxing interview. Great, great interview. We need more of these and less of I seen this on Twitter or I did this and yeah, thank you.
Figure it out. So, I'm not saying you couldn't be June 17th because, it could if this gets done really quickly. But it is a short runway. And, I prefer to see it, a little bit later in the summer. And I think,
Oh, man, did you hear what we say? Could be June 17th, but he prefers to see it later on in the summer. And why is that? I'll tell you why that is. Because they want to really promote this fight. They want to get maximum exposure. And then you're saying, well, it already has. Does it? If they announce the fight like everybody is saying, April 22nd for June 17th, how much time does that really give them to promote? Just saying. Well, let's move on.
I prefer to see it, a little bit later in the summer. And I think, most boxing fans would, argue about whether it's June or July as long as they get the fight.
Yeah, definitely, no doubt. As far as Errol Spence, is there a plan B? If he doesn't get that Crawford fight.
Well, I wouldn't even call it a plan B because look, in terms of great matchups, Spence Thurman is every bit as good as Spence Crawford. Now,
Man, excellent question. You see how he covering all bases. For those of y'all out there that want to be media, You see and the salute to this brother. I've never met him. Maybe I have in passing, because there's so many people that do this. But great question, great nugget right there. He asked about Keith Thurman, and like I was talking with somebody, so I said, "You see, Keith Thurman is training. What is he training for? What is the plan with him? But he is training." And Steven Espinosa alluded that he's not a plan B. So you have to take into consideration all of these things. Yes, all of these things. But excellent question. It's always good to highlight guys that's actually doing the work. This man is doing the work. That was a phenomenal question that he put in there. Is there a plan B? And salute to Steven Espinoza for being who he is and already working on if the Crawford Spence doesn't fall through to have Keith Thurman. But you notice what he said. Pay attention to what he said. He didn't make it seem like Thurman fighting Spence is a watered down fight nor a plan B. Listen, I'll let it play out some more. Chess, not checkers.
Every bit as good as Spence Crawford. Now, one has the added juice of being for the undisputed title, and that's history, that's legacy, that's an opportunity you don't get very often. So I think that's why it's probably a priority. But by the same token, I think the Spence Thurman matchup is every bit as good as Spence Crawford. I mean, I understand they're
See what I told you? See? Hey, what do I know? You see how he snuck that in there, but he didn't even sneak that in there. He is a seasoned guy in the industry. So if we don't get the Spence Crawford fight, you see how he's already icing the cake, putting the cherry on the sundae, letting us, well, wanting us to believe that the Spence Thurman fight is just as big, just as competitive of a fight as a Terex, Bud Crawford, Earl Spence. See, I think I need to start doing more videos like this when I have the time to just give the true boxing fans perspective. Because when you come on the YTC, yes, you have channels that, talk boxing, discuss boxing, debate boxing, but they maybe lack of oxygen to the brain. I'm not going to say they're uneducated, but maybe just a lack of oxygen to the brain, maybe other things. They're not listening. See, when you actually use what God blessed you with, two ears, two eyes, you watch, you listen to actual participants that are putting things together, you really can get a better understanding instead of trying to be Sherlock Holmes or, lose clues, put things together on your own off of tweets and social media, Instagram posts. Well, let's move on before we close out.
it is Spence Crawford. I mean, I understand there might be some disappointment because it's not the undisputed. But in terms of the fight faction, in terms of the rivalry, in terms of sort of how the fight plays out, I think that's I wouldn't even call that a plan B. I think that's a great alternative if the undisputed fight doesn't happen.
It's a great fight in my opinion, but I think fight fans will be disappointed. If it's Errol Spence against Thurman, because obviously when it came out, it was going to happen. They're going to be on Fox or Showtime a few months ago. Fans, there was some sort of backlash on that.
Yeah, I understand the disappointment because you're on again the doorstep of being able to get an undisputed welterweight titleist, and I think that's where White Smith.
Stop it again, man. I'm going to close on that. We're on the doorstep. Key word, doorstep. It's not a done deal. Once again, you have been rocking out with your truly the source this morning. Showtime sizzle. Shaw News came on a little bit earlier because, like I said, I am doing me. I'm gonna just jump on when I feel the need to jump on. I'm going to drop content that I feel like dropping. I feel like just dropping that this morning, fresh. before I even got out the door. Just give that to y'all fresh. Because when I watched that interview last night, I was very, very moved to do it last night. But I just was doing other things. So I said, let me do it now. So you heard it from the horse's mouth. Steven Espinoza is not a done deal. June 17th, he doesn't know where that date is coming from. If they can get it done quickly, that can possibly be the date, but he would prefer it later in the summer. And also, Keith Thurman is not a plan B. That fight is just as big as the Spence Crawford fight. So hopefully you guys took from me doing a somewhat of a reaction breakdown to a well done interview by a media member, FINO Boxing, Fino Boxing. I believe they are out of the LA area. Great video. When I'm done with this and before I get all the way going at my job, I will definitely try to put the description, the link of that interview in the description box. Because one thing about the source, we give flowers, we give people their acknowledgement. You see why I kept acknowledging the brother's work, because that was great work. That wasn't speculation, that wasn't narrative pushing. That was him being in the field, seeing a man in Steven Espinoza who is trying to put this fight together and asking the question. I know another brother said he spoke to him on the phone, and he pretty much confirmed with the brother that said he spoke on the phone with him. But one thing about that is we wasn't privileged to that phone conversation. So there is no way to prove that that phone conversation was legit. But we can say this man right here had the camera in front of him, delivered his questions and presented his questions to us, the consumers, the audience, and we was able to dissect the information. So once again, you heard it from the horse's mouth. They are in ongoing discussions. It is not cemented, concrete yet. So all of this June 17th stuff, let it get done. Hopefully it does get done soon, so that can be the date. But you heard him. If it doesn't happen soon, we might be looking at this fight later on in the summer, or possibly even Keith Thurman. That's all that I have for you this wonderful Friday morning. Feel free to like, share, subscribe. Showtime Shy News on IG, Shy News on Twitter. I haven't been tweeting lately. I gotta put the Twitter on my new phone. I just, when you do so many things, sometimes certain social media sites, you get to them, Your main focus is real life. Hopefully you caught that source. But yes, everybody be blessed. Enjoy your Friday. Like, share, subscribe. A like goes a long way. Sharing goes even further. And both of those things are free. They don't cost you a fee. Hopefully y'all caught that source. Zaga! Yaga! You know the vibes. Ahala.
Let me tell you something. There's so many people biting your swag. There's so many people trying to eat off the drill. The shit you created, man. You put your name on that. You did that. You came up with that. But they biting that. And they jealous of you. And see what happens is when they try to bite it and do what you doing, it don't work for them. They turn into your biggest critic. They eventually try to bite your move and steal your swag. Let them eat off your drill. Because I'm going to tell you something. Don't be in competition with them. Don't you worry about them. What you need to do is get back into creative mode. Because remember, they biting your swag. They can't come up with nothing until you make your next move. They watching you. You the leader. You the profound source. You the one, baby. You the alpha. You the beginning of this shit, and you gonna end this shit. They can't do it because you was called to do it. You see when?
Nice. 1, 2. Bring her back to the castle. Back to the castle. Yep. Move around. Yep. 1-2, back to the castle. Yeah, work. Bring them back up. You gotta bring your hands back up, though.
Hey, you guys. A shout out to Sauce Talk Podcast. You guys enjoy it. It's a good one.
What's going on? It's Carlos Jackson, aka King Dynamite Jackson. Straight out of Atlanta, straight out of Bad News, VA. And then I want to shout out Sauce Talk Podcast. Appreciate the love, man. All the love and support, bro.
Appreciate you, champ. Thank you.
Yo, man, it's your Hot Tucker, man. The real GOAT, LeBron Donner of the game, man. Shout out to the Sauce Talk Podcast. Shout out my man Showtime Shot. If you ain't know, now you know. Hear about it.
Screw you. That's right.
Hey guys, this is Tiana Twingle Kailua. I'm a top-ranked knockout, and I want to give a shout-out to Sauce Talk Podcast.
Thank you. You know the vibes. I was playing, man. I told you I was coming back to the city of Cowboy, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Seek and destroy. You know the vibes. Yeehaw!
Like, subscribe, and hit that bell.